Let's take a magical journey back in time, exploring a special family tree in the Gospel of Matthew. This family tree tells us about the relatives of Jesus, people like Joseph, Mary, King David, and even the grandfathers, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. It's like reading a story about a big family where everyone has a role to play. But wait, there's a surprise waiting for us in this family tree. It's not the firstborn son or the most famous one who leads us to Jesus. No, it's Jacob's fourth son, Judah. Imagine that. Jesus, the special person we're talking about, comes from the family line of Judah. Now, you might be wondering why it's Judah and not one of his brothers. That's what we're going to explore together. We'll discover why Judah is so important in this special plan that God has for all of us. So, grab your explorer hat and let's dive into the exciting story of why Judah's family is at the heart of Jesus' amazing journey. Now that we know Jesus comes from Judah's family, let's uncover a fantastic story about Judah and some magical words his grandfather, Jacob, said. Imagine a time when Jacob was about to leave this world and he had something important to share with his sons. In a special part of the Bible called Genesis, in chapters 49, verses 8 to 10, Jacob speaks about each of his sons. But when he gets to Judah, he has something extraordinary to say. Something like a magical blessing. Jacob calls Judah a lion's cub. Isn't that interesting? Lions are strong and mighty, like kings of the jungle. Jacob sees something royal in Judah. He says that Judah will have a special scepter that will last a long, long time. It's like a king's special stick that shows he is in charge. And guess what? The people will listen and obey Judah. Now, why is this blessing so special? Because it's like a secret message from God. Jacob is saying that from Judah's family, a super important person, the King of Kings, will come. And you know who that is? Yes, it's our friend Jesus. So, Judah, the unlikely prodigy, becomes super special because of these magical words. His family is like a treasure chest, holding the key to the most important king ever, Jesus Christ. Isn't that amazing? Now let's explore more about why God chose Judah for this important role. Our journey into the fascinating story of Judah continues, filled with twists and turns that make his tale extraordinary. Imagine a time long ago when Judah, like all of us, made some choices that weren't so great. He sold his brother Joseph into slavery, causing a lot of sadness in his family. But here's the magical part. Judah's story doesn't end with his mistakes. It transforms into something truly amazing. As we dive deeper into Judah's adventure, we discover a moment that changes everything. Judah, faced with a new challenge involving his little brother Benjamin, steps forward with incredible kindness and bravery. Instead of letting Benjamin suffer, Judah offers to become a slave in his place. Can you believe it? It's like he's saying, I messed up before, but now I want to make things right. This moment is like a beam of light in Judah's story because it shows his big, caring heart. Just like in our own lives, making mistakes is okay as long as we learn from them and try to be better. God loves when we show kindness and bravery, just like Judah did. This change in Judah sets him on a path to become a leader with kingly qualities. Leaders aren't just the ones who give orders. They're the ones who show kindness, bravery, and care for others. Judah's journey from mistakes to redemption becomes a shining example for all of us. But wait, there's more. Judah's story is not just about him, it's about his whole family. In contrast to Judah's positive transformation, his elder brothers, Reuben, Simeon, and Levi, faced serious disqualifications due to their own moral failures. Reuben, the firstborn, lost his special position because of inappropriate behavior, while Simeon and Levi reacted with too much anger and violence. Judah's journey stands out because, despite his past mistakes, he grows into someone who leads with love and sacrifice. It's like he's being prepared for something big, a special role in carrying the messianic seed. God sees Judah's change of heart and chooses his family for an important task. As we piece together the puzzle of Judah's story, we uncover the reasons why God picked him for this crucial job. Each part of the puzzle adds a new layer of excitement to Judah's incredible journey from mistakes to redemption, making him a key player in the grand story of Jesus, the King of Kings. Now that we've followed the exciting journey of Judah, let's uncover another piece of the puzzle in the story of Jesus. You see, after Judah, there's someone else very special in the family tree: King David. Imagine King David as a brave and wise leader, like a superhero in the Bible. But here's the cool part. David is not just any superhero, he is a family member of Judah. It's like having a superhero in our own family. God makes a super important promise to David, and it's called a covenant. Now, a covenant is not just a regular promise. It's like a forever promise that God makes. In this special covenant, God tells David that his family will be kings, and one of his descendants will be a king forever. That's like having a never-ending kingdom. So how does this connect to Judah? Well, David is from the tribe of Judah. That means the forever promise God makes to David is also connected to Judah's family. It's like God is saying, hey, Judah's family is really, really important in my big plan. Now let's imagine this promise coming true in Jesus. Jesus is like the ultimate king, the forever king that God promised to David. His kingdom doesn't end, and he rules with love and kindness forever. This connects back to Judah, the brave and caring leader who started it all. So you see, Judah's journey doesn't just stop with him. It keeps going through his family, and now it's tied to King David. The promise God made to David finds its ultimate fulfillment in Jesus Christ, the eternal King who reigns forever and ever. Let's continue our journey through the magical story of Judah and his family. As we dive into this chapter, we discover something truly amazing, a story of faithfulness in the midst of disobedience. Once upon a time, the big family of Israel faced a challenge. It split into two kingdoms, the north, called Israel, and the south, called Judah. It's like having two different teams in a game, but instead of playing together, they go their separate ways. Now, here's where it gets interesting. While the northern kingdom, Israel, started making not-so-good choices like worshiping idols and disobeying God, the southern kingdom, Judah, chose a different path. It's like they decided to stay close to God and be faithful even when it was tough. In the northern kingdom, there were kings who led the people away from God. They made choices that weren't pleasing to him. But in the southern kingdom, Judah, there was a mix of good and not-so-good kings. Even though they faced challenges, some of them stayed close to God. This is where Judah shines like a bright light. While others were going the wrong way, Judah remained a faithful remnant, like a small group of people who stick to what's right. It's like they were holding on to a special promise that God made, a promise of an everlasting king from Judah's family. Now, why is this promise so special? Because it points to Jesus Christ. Yes, that's right. The promise of an everlasting king, made through Judah, finds its ultimate fulfillment in Jesus. It's like God had a plan all along, and Judah's family was a key part of it. The contrast between the northern kingdom's disobedience and Judah's faithfulness is like a big spotlight on Judah's role in preserving the messianic lineage. Even when others were making not-so-good choices, Judah's family held on to the promise, making sure it continued through the generations. Our adventure through the story of Judah takes a thrilling turn as we explore how this seemingly small and overlooked tribe triumphs against challenges, making way for something extraordinary. Imagine Judah's family facing many difficulties and obstacles throughout history. But here's the exciting part. No matter how tough things got, they stayed faithful to God. It's like they were a small, brave group determined to keep a special promise alive. In the face of historical challenges, where other tribes faced struggles and changes, the tribe of Judah stood strong as a faithful remnant. Remnant is like a small piece that remains, and that's exactly what Judah's family did. They remained true to their promise. God, with his amazing wisdom, exalted this seemingly small tribe to become the head of all nations. It's like God had a plan to make Judah really important, even when others might have thought they were just a small part of the big family. And guess what? Through Jesus Christ, who is often called the Lion of Judah, this overlooked tribe plays a huge role in preserving the lineage of history's greatest king, Jesus himself. It's like God had a grand plan all along, and Judah's family was at the center of it. Think of it like a big, beautiful tapestry where each thread has a purpose. Judah's triumph is like a bright and shining thread that weaves through the tapestry, making the whole picture more vibrant and alive. Divine foresight, which means God's special ability to see the future, and poetic justice, like a beautiful song of fairness, unfold as Judah emerges triumphant against all odds. It's like a hero in a story who, against all challenges, comes out victorious in the end. Our adventure through the story of Judah takes a thrilling turn as we explore how this seemingly small and overlooked tribe triumphs against challenges, making way for something extraordinary. Imagine Judah's family facing many difficulties and obstacles throughout history. But here's the exciting part. No matter how tough things got, they stayed faithful to God. It's like they were a small, brave group determined to keep a special promise alive. In the face of historical challenges, where other tribes faced struggles and changes, the tribe of Judah stood strong as a faithful remnant. Remnant is like a small piece that remains, and that's exactly what Judah's family did. They remained true to their promise. God, with his amazing wisdom, exalted this seemingly small tribe to become the head of all nations. It's like God had a plan to make Judah really important. Even when others might have thought they were just a small part of the big family. And guess what? Through Jesus Christ, who is often called the Lion of Judah, this overlooked tribe plays a huge role in preserving the lineage of history's greatest king, Jesus himself. It's like God had a grand plan all along, and Judah's family was at the center of it. Think of it like a big, beautiful tapestry, where each thread has a purpose. Judah's triumph is like a bright and shining thread that weaves through the tapestry, making the whole picture more vibrant and alive. Divine foresight, which means God's special ability to see the future, and poetic justice, like a beautiful song of fairness, unfold as Judah emerges triumphant against all odds. It's like a hero in a story who, against all challenges, comes out victorious in the end. As we journey through Judah's triumph, we see that sometimes the smallest and most overlooked can become the greatest and most important. It's a story of bravery, faithfulness, and God's incredible plan unfolding in the most unexpected ways. Judah, the brave and bright tribe, stands tall, leading us to the ultimate King, Jesus Christ. As we reach the end of our captivating journey through the Gospel of Matthew's genealogy, tracing back to Judah and his brothers, we uncover a tale of divine wisdom, unexpected heroes, and triumphant destinies. In the grand story of Jesus, Judah's humble line takes center stage, revealing God's special plan in choosing this seemingly small and overlooked tribe. It's like a magical puzzle where every piece has a purpose, and Judah's piece is essential in creating the beautiful picture of Christ's lineage. Against all human logic, God elevates Judah as the conduit for Christ's lifeblood. Imagine Christ's family tree as a special river, and Judah is like the chosen path for that river to flow, It's a bit like when we choose the best route for a river to reach its destination, and in this case, God chose Judah as the perfect path for Christ to come into the world. The overlooked son, Judah, becomes the hero who paves the way for the ultimate son, Jesus Christ, the Lion of Judah. This story shows us that God has a special talent for uplifting the humble and using the unlikely for extraordinary purposes. It's like God has a magic wand that turns ordinary things into something really special. Now let's think about the triumphant Lion of Judah, Jesus Christ. Lions are strong, brave, and powerful, just like heroes in our favorite stories. Jesus conquers not with a sword or armor, but through something even more incredible, self-sacrifice. He gives up everything to save us and establishes an eternal throne over all creation. As believers, which means people who believe in Jesus and his amazing story, we find great encouragement in the triumphant Lion of Judah. Jesus is like a superhero who conquers not with strength, but with love and sacrifice. This gives us hope and courage, especially when things in our own lives might seem a bit challenging. So, in this conclusion, we celebrate the triumph of the Lion of Judah, Jesus Christ, and the unseen hero, Judah himself. It's a story that reminds us of God's incredible ability to turn the ordinary into the extraordinary and to use the humble for extraordinary purposes. As we close this chapter, we carry with us the encouraging roar of the triumphant lion, reminding us that just like Judah, we too can be part of something extraordinary in God's grand plan.